I'm joined with my lovely girlfriend Madisyn and her best friend Devon as we re-adventure into the wonderful world of South Park, the Stick of Truth. Ooh, get hyped, get swole.
Ooh, swole.
That just went from like 110 to 199.
What?
Jesus. The numbers on the storage units.
We also did some stuff off screen with our equipment in case you can't tell by our change of weapon.
Or flaming something.
You have tripped the mighty chaos alarm, and now the Earth shall be destroyed in 10 seconds. 10.
Man.
9.
The Earth shall be destroyed in 10 seconds.
7. 6.
Oh, it's just
And we have upgrades we can do.
4.
We'll do this off camera after this
2.
episode.
1. Go! And now all these lights and electrical equipment you see are on and will never be turned off. Erasing the Earth's entire power supply and plunging humanity into a deep cold darkness. Without lights or heat or computers or power, humans will be left to fend for themselves against the brutes and the elements. Humanity be damned!
Winged Terrier. Winged Terror. I don't know if that was that ever in the show.
Winged terror.
Do not touch. Oh, it's the no. What? The Ls'G. There are definitely some references I do not understand. Oh shit! Can't get that guy yet.
I am. I'm just going up here.
Okay.
That's where we're gonna go when we need the alien probe. I think there's something down here. Yes, there is.
This big Indigo die. Why'd you have to die, Indigo?
Wow.
That's called me being stupid.
I got a new ranged weapon too, guys.
Yeah.
Maybe too close. Back up a little.
I forget how we get. I always fucking forget
No,
how
I
we
think
get.
you were just too close when you hit the vent.
That, or you have to be on the ground.
There we
Oh,
go.
there he is.
Store.
Only 2 left for today.
Do you ever think that the people who created those for that episode ever thought that they would live beyond that episode?
What?
The Chimpoko mod, when they were designing all of them. Because there were a lot in that episode, but
Yeah,
do you
there
think
were
they
30.
were... There were 3?
30.
30.
30, which is the 30 you can collect.
But do you think they look back at them now and they're like, oh man, if I just spent a little bit more time, they would have been so much cooler.
Do you ever go back to Kenny's?
Not for what?
I mean, it was supposed
Oh
to
wait,
be
no,
stupid,
we had
but
to go back to Tweaks.
we also have to go back to Cartman now that we have everybody.
Yep.
With the whole squad. Squizzity squad, squanch.
I'm gonna do it every time there's a cat on
Gentlemen,
stage.
thanks
on
to the
screen.
new kid, our entire army is assembled. It is my belief.
I had
that the new
something
kid deserves to rank up
that I
in
said at the
level.
end of the last episode that I was going to talk about this episode, and I can't remember what it was
I
going to
think it
be.
was something like the
I hereby dub
angriest
thee
something
Sir
or another
Douchebag.
after we were talking
Congratulations.
Oh! Okay, yes. We're a sir now.
Yeah.
Sir douchebag.
But now it is
Nice.
time for us to take back that which is
Did we get
rightfully
any
ours.
good?
Last episode we were talking about detention and hall monitors and all that, and teachers. And I was gonna say, as a thing to talk about, after this cutscene. So I
The
will
bard is a
understand
level
what's
10
going
drow
on.
elf who can use magic to enchant and destroy his...
Devin!
I didn't do anything!
Oh, that's where it ended?
It just cut off.
Okay. So now we're going to go get the bard.
Yeah, push
That's gonna rape
dagger.
Kenny.
That's shittier than what we had.
Yeah.
Didn't expect us to be
We'll
so
put the druid stuff on.
MLG.
Okay.
We don't have the druid outfit
You
though.
don't want to wear the wife beater.
Oh, druid. I thought you said,
Yeah, it's level 4, so why not? We don't have the
I
druid.
forget where the druid robes are. You could probably find them
Probably
in the book.
the thief thing back on. I think that was stronger. For
But
sure. Or is it about the same?
it's about the same.
It looks more appealing. Kind of looks like we're Chewbacca.
No.
Okay. So my question to you guys was, what is the angriest a teacher has ever gotten at you, and why?
At me personally, or the class that I was in?
Allow me to demonstrate.
Could be either.
Yeah.
Or if you have an example of each, you could give both.
Yeah.
So,
See how it
the
goes?
angriest I've seen a teacher get at the class I was in was,
Cut the magic, throw down your opponent.
so either junior or senior year, we had, I think it was junior year, I had a teacher who, like, legitimately had, like, a drinking problem and had to go to rehab during school, so we kept having, like, random subs until we got, like, a permanent sub.
Bike to school? Did someone have to ride their bike to school?
I don't. I know the one teacher rode his bike to lose weight.
No, I heard someone had to ride their bike to school because of,
I don't know.
shit.
But,
You let it slip right through your fingers. Try again.
so when we were, like, getting random subs before they got, like, the permanent sub, we were, like, just getting tired of it because we weren't learning anything. We were getting behind, so, like, we were just being little shits. So they were, like, throwing papers and shit around the room. They were throwing, like, pencils into the ceiling. And, like, the teacher was like, you know, it's going to be guided reading, you know. Like, I want it to be quiet in here. I want you all to just read your book. Like, this is, like, if you were reading, like, The Catcher in the Rye or something like that. And literally someone in the classroom was just like, no. And, like, then they started, like, throwing paper at her while she was at her desk. And she literally was like, you, like, she said something along the lines of, I can't stand you anymore. And she, like, stormed out of the room and slammed the door behind her, went down the hallway, got a Hall aide, and brought him over to the door saying, she literally was like, they're not listening to me, do something. And he literally was like, I can't do anything. Like, you can send them to the
Hall aide.
Yeah, he was like, you can send them to the office, but I can't do anything. And she just got so upset. She came back in and she started crying, and she just put her head down on her desk.
Oh my god.
And then later that day, I saw her being pushed in a wheelchair through the cafeteria.
Wow.
She was being pushed in a wheelchair.
Yeah,
Why?
she was she looks like she could easily be in her 80s.
She was older.
Yeah.
I was just
That
like,
explains
what?
a lot of that story.
I was gonna say it like it just jumped.
There it is. The inn of the giggling donkey. Paladin, are you sure the bard is hiding out in there?
That's what Twitter says.
Carrier Raven, Butters.
Sorry, that's what the carrier Raven says.
Taken token, guard the back. Butters, Kenny.
So my story, to bounce off of mine about like a whole class, or bounce off Maddie's about the whole
Stay closer.
class being like the reason for a teacher being upset. Senior year of high school, in my English class, I talked about earlier this teacher that, you know, just wasn't all there with it. Like, she did a lot of things like off, like schedule to like the program or our English program, and she would have us like read a book like a lot. Like she would like it went from one book to another book to another book, and like by like the third semester, like we were like fed up with it because like it'd be like every 2.5 weeks we would like be done reading the book, and then like half a week later like an essay on the book was due. So everybody really just stopped caring about our class and stopped caring about like what she had to say because we were like, so tired of writing that we got to it wasn't a book, we had to write a poem on Sir Gawain, or we had to write an essay on the poem by Sir Gawain and the whole thing with like the Canterbury Tales. It's basically like this whole series of like stories that were told apparently in the medieval ages all at the same time. Anywho, so we had to turn it in, and it was like the day to turn it in, and I shit you not, out of like 18 kids in the class, 2 people turned it in that day.
Oh my god.
And everybody else just like had like excuses. And by the time she got to like the 10th person, and they were giving excuses, she was like, who did this essay? And like two people raised their hands. She was like, had that moment where like, speechless. Like she just like literally couldn't believe it had come to that. And she was like, and like she was like, well, I guess we'll have it due on this day. And then like she didn't do anything for a couple minutes, and we were all like, well, so what now? And she was like, I don't know, what do you want to do? And like, I don't know what the like thing is for today, like, and like literally we had to like console her because she was like getting so upset like at us, like, you were like, you got disappointment, like you obviously clearly don't want to learn or be here, and like we're like, no, we want to be here. We're just like, we had to like really break it to her, like we don't like you as a teacher. Like we never said it in that words, but we just had to like kind of be like,
I'm not trying to cut you off, but like he stutters, so like, yeah, go ahead and skip it. You'll be here for like an hour.
oh, you have to skip the stutter.
Yep.
Oh.
But later on, when you have to help him on a side quest, you have to find this flute. You can't skip it. I was playing with Allie, and I'm just like, just skip now because you won't be able to skip later. She's like, nah.
She didn't talk much, but boy did she swallow.
Oh.
Yeah, just listen to his songs.
So that was
I'm gonna
probably
stop
the
this
worst,
bitch.
like, a class has ever pissed off a teacher that I've seen.
I've never been the one that piss off the teacher. I've been the one to, like, piss off the shitty kids in the class. Like, on more than one occasion, I would just yell at a kid and be like, shut the fuck up. And the teacher would be like, thank you. Like, I think the first time I did it was in 7th grade. 7th or 8th grade, we had IOP, which is basically we don't fucking know what to give you and we don't want to call it study hall. And it was like up to the teacher what you would do. Like some of them would make you do book reports, some of them would just be like, do your homework, and then others would be like, just fucking sit there and be quiet. So it was one of those ones where he was like, you know, just do what you want, guide it, read or something. And I was sitting, it was like me, my friend was sitting in front of me, and then my one friend was sitting to my right. And it was one of those like setups where like the classroom was set up in like rows, but not like connected like from the chalkboard to the back of the room type rows, but there was a gap for the doorway and a gap down the middle of the room. And there was a kid sitting on the far left of the room, and my friends and I were on the far right. And this kid, like, he was a normal kid, like he was in normal classes, but like he wouldn't, like I almost feel like he shouldn't have been in normal classes, you know what I mean? Like, he didn't know how to like express his feelings, and he had a crush on my friend that was sitting to the right of me. And he decided to show that he would spit spitballs at us. And so he was spitting. We were in 7th grade, Derek.
Well, still,
We were like 12 at this point. Or 11.
Maybe 13.
Yeah, so fucking old enough to know better. But the entire period he was like spitting spitballs at us, and it got to the point where one of them hit me in the head, landed in my pocket. So not only did it touch me, but I had to pick it up to get it out of my pocket. And I literally was like, that is enough! And I like, I stood up and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Are we in kindergarten? Like, what the fuck? Stop fucking spitting at us! I don't want your fucking spit! And then I sat back down, and the room was just silent. Like, even the teacher was like, oh, because it was like a sub. And like, he literally, like, the kid that was spitting spitballs got all teary-eyed, put his head down. And the teacher was just like, you go to the office, to the other kid. And then he like slowly came over and sat at the seat next to me and like very like calm, like be like, do you need to like go to guidance? And I was like, no, I just don't like being spit on. And he's like, oh, yep, okay, well, if you're good, I'm gonna go back over there. If you need anything, just let me know. I was like, yeah. I was like, in school I was one of those kids that was always real quiet, so like, it's that moment where they're like, they're about to kill us. This is it! This is the moment! And, I didn't get in trouble, but the kid got written up for it.
Jesus, you blew that kid's shit. Where's Craig?
Yeah.
I'll handle this. Ow.
Wow, you really did quite a lot there, Craig.
Maybe I should take a look at it. Yes, sir.
What the hell's going on here?
Just a bit.
Buddy Commando, his Butter's heels.
No, but I mean, like, what's his plan?
Oh, he's unlocking the door. They locked us in the basement.
He's a thief.
Oh.
But, I've done that, like, multiple times, too. Like,
You didn't have to fight that guy.
in the same English class that, like, made that lady lose her mind. Like, towards the, like, one of the last days of the year, I don't know why, but this one kid decided it'd be fun to bring in his guitar and his amp and just play it in the middle of English. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Sam Kaiser.
Yep. And, he was doing that, and, you know, bleep that too, asshole. And,
I like Sam. He's a good guy.
You're not why are you saying his name?
you will have to bleep these.
Dan.
You will have to bleep all of this, even the fake names.
Roger. Stan Smith.
Stop.
Lucky shot. Oh no, you didn't.
And so, because he was doing that, None of the other kids wanted to pay attention, so they started throwing paper balls all around the room. And one of the kids, because I was sitting right near the kid with his guitar, hit me in the head. And I literally, like, fucking, like, angry bitch mode, like, pushed my desk, almost knocked it over, stood up, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, grow the fuck up, stop throwing paper around the room. And then I sat back down and pulled my desk back to my chair. And, like, fucking, I was real good at quieting the room. Put it that way. And I never got in trouble for it. Like, I had done that a couple times because we were reading, I think it was The Catcher in the Rye, where, like, they said, like, curse words in it. So, like, a lot of people were, like, giggling and being childish about it. It was like, oh,
And
yeah,
then
so fucking funny.
And when he tries to, like, sleep with the hooker or something, like, he gets the hooker.
Yeah, and of course it was the day that my my teacher decided that we were going to read it aloud. So the kids were all, like, giggling and shit, and I was like, oh, yeah, so fucking funny, grow up. And, like, literally that teacher, I had her junior year, and I came back after senior year to get her to sign my yearbook. And she wrote this whole big, long note, like, oh, I'm so proud that you, like, stood up for, like, the quiet kids and the nervous kids, because there was one time where, like, we did reading aloud again, and, like, the kid was like, I really don't want to read, and she made him read anyway, and he, like, was stuttering, and kids were making fun of him, and, like, I did it again, like, grow the fuck up, like, are you kidding me? And she was like, you know, I didn't know what to say to them, but with you doing that, it got through to them, and it was one of their peers, so they understood how upsetting it was, and, like, stuff like that. And I was like, whatever, lady.
Shall I heal the king, my lord? Or maybe let him suffer just a little bit more?
I realized I just, like, took over the game. I'm sorry.
No, it's alright.
Eric's just ignoring me talking.
No, I'm listening
He
to
doesn't
you.
give a fuck.
Why? No, I was listening to your whole thing.
Why weren't you commenting?
He was listening
Because
to
I was
you.
letting you talk, yeah.
Command, my lord.
It's called being a good boyfriend. Good boyfriends know how to listen.
They have something to say when the girlfriend's
Not yet,
done.
you can't dupe me yet.
This is a very good story.
Why, that'd just be silly.
I don't know what you want me to say. Like,
Yes, sir.
I sort of had some of those kids here or there. Like, I was in some advanced classes sometimes, so, like, I didn't have those kids. But then, like, math, I got kind of gypped, so I was, like, in, like, lower math classes some years. When I really shouldn't have been, because math was, like, my strong subject. So I had, like, some of those kids who were, like, from the grade above us who had to be, like, way back math, you know? So I'd get, like, those disturbing kids, and, like, I don't know, I always just use it as a time to, like, focus on my own studies.
My math teacher, freshman year, was a fucking liar. They tried to say that accelerated geometry was going to be the normal geometry, and normal geometry was foundations. And so my dad fucking believed it and put me in accelerated geometry, and if there's anything you need to know about me, it's that I cannot fucking do math.
We should give
suck
us in
at
a
it.
really mean online
Actually,
game
that
after
was
we're
the
done
one
killing
that I was
everybody.
thinking.
And,
Use
like,
your magic on the front door,
my dad
douchebag.
forced me to have accelerated geometry, and I got an F first marking period, and I was like, yeah, no fucking shit, Dad. And then he let me drop down to the regular geometry. Actually, I think I dropped all the way to, like, no, it was regular geometry. But, like, I had the same thing where, like, a lot of kids from, like, that were, like, juniors and seniors were in that class, too. Because the way our school worked, you only needed 3 years of
You asshole.
math and science
So, yeah,
to graduate. Like, that's all the credits you needed.
So technically you didn't have to take them senior year.
What if we
Yeah,
get
like-
friends?
Well, I did because junior year, I had Mrs. Fail Math. Her literal name was Fail Math, but it was F-E-L-L.
What about that? Using real names there, Maddie.
Nobody's gonna believe that's a real name. And I don't know what her real name is. But, and she was a real bitch about it, so I failed that year. So I had to take business math senior year. And we've made it full circle.
I just wanted to give a quick story before the end of the episode about the one time that I did personally myself piss off a teacher.
I just...
And it's kind of really not in the way you would think. Like, it wasn't like I was just being bad one day or said something that offended them. It was, without using names, and to make the shortest story possible, I worked for the morning announcements at my school, and I was like a host on the show, as well as like I created like little commercials that we would make for like different departments or events that were going on at school. And I was also in drama in my junior year. And the thing of it was that, like, my drama teacher asked me if I could make, like, a commercial for this, like, event that they were having. Like, some kids were doing, like, a show, and I was like, oh, okay. And, like, weeks later, like, the show was coming up in, like, less than a week, and, like, my video production teacher, like, reminded me about it, and I was like, oh, like, I don't have anything ready for that. So it was, like, the night before the thing, and, like, before the commercial was, like, supposed to go on in the morning announcements, because the show was going to be that night, which, honestly, like, if I think about it back now, like, it should have gone on, like, a week before, but, so, I was, like, stressing, and I don't know, I was really fickle about, like, my movies back then, and I still am, so, like, everything I was coming up with and I was able to do at home, like, I really didn't like, and I didn't think it was going to, like, represent the thing well, so I thought to myself, well, some things don't always get played on the announcements because we run out of time, so the next day I would just say something like that to the teacher, like, oh, it didn't get played because of time, and I told the teacher that, like, after she saw me, like, in first period, and she was like, oh, okay, but she thought I was saying that the teacher who ran the morning announcements didn't want to run the commercial. So, like, she went to him, and then, like, he knew I didn't do it, like, at all, because, like, I had to show it to him that day, and I just, like, showed him, like, oh, I was like, oh, I didn't do it, and he was like, oh, whatever. But then, like, he got offended, because the other teacher was, like, yelling at him, so then, it actually ended up being that both the teachers got extremely upset with me. But, like, the teacher for the class that it was, since it was, like, an extra thing, he didn't really care that much. He just got, I guess, a little upset that, like, another teacher came after him. And then the teacher that the commercial was supposed to be for, really, like, tore me a new one. And it was extremely upsetting because, like, 2 weeks before that, I got cast in, like, my drama classes, like, plays, like, one of the main roles. So, like, it wasn't like I could even, like, try to avoid that teacher in the class. Like, I was literally, like, on stage each day, and, like, she had to, like, talk to me and stuff, and, like, it was just awkward for a while. And I regretted it, you know. Oh,
I laughed.
You don't have anything to say?
I laughed. Well, you know, I'm not the type of person that gets myself into those kind of situations. Like, I'm enough of an asshole where I would have been like, yeah, I ran out of time making it.
Yeah.
It's not done.
That's, like, I can admit a character flaw about myself that, like, I should be honest when I don't do things. I should do things more often. I've become more of a person to try to do that instead of getting myself in a situation where I have to, like, where I end up trying to lie myself out of it instead of just saying, yeah, this isn't going to happen. Which is honestly, you know, kids, the more important thing to do. Try to do what you can do, and then when you've tried your best, be honest if you can't do it. You know?
Yeah, like, if this is the one thing I learned in high school, it's that if you feel like you can't do it, don't fucking force yourself.
Be honest about it. Don't be afraid to seek help.
Yeah, like, I failed Spanish 2, barely passed Spanish 1. I failed math one year, and I failed science one year. In all 4 of those classes, I didn't want to take because I didn't think I'd do well, and I didn't have any interest in them. But my dad made me take it, and I did poorly in them. Like, if it's anything, like, if you're not interested in it, and you don't think you're going to do well, you're not going to do well. So find a different way.
Or a better way that works for you, yeah. Like, and your teachers want that for you too. Like, I would say, and I'm gonna, yeah, that's what I was saying. I'm gonna give a fair percentage to this. I'm gonna say at least 75 to 80% of teachers, if you show genuine interest and are honest with them, they'll try to work with you. There are a couple that are just, like, very pass-fail. I'm sure everybody's had at least one that's literally,
chemistry
like...
because my science teacher was a prick.
He's keeping a prisoner.
You at least... Did he just say the raping Kenny line?
Mm-hmm.
What is this complex puzzle? Oh, it's a ladder now. So you can now go untie the thing. It's going to fall on his head. Clever.
Like, my chemistry teacher had all these so-called opportunities for bonus, bonus points. One of them was oh, we had a blood drive at our school. If you donate blood, he'd give you bonus points. I was like, oh, okay, like, I really fucking hate needles and I'm squeamish, but, you know, I'm failing this class, so I'm gonna fucking do it. So I signed up to go during my free time during school. I went down there, waited in the line until I could get up to a tech. They tested both my hands, and they said that I couldn't donate. Because I have an iron deficiency, and my iron wasn't high enough to donate. I was like, okay, yeah, whatever. I got my paper signed, and I left. And I showed him my paper, and he was like, yeah, but you didn't donate. And I was like, but I went down, they pricked my fingers, like, I have Band-Aids on my hands, it's not my fault. And he was like, yeah, but you didn't donate, so I'm not giving you bonus points. I was like, you literally are discriminating right now.
Yeah.
He has a stick of truth, he can do what he wants. Damn it!
Like, I was so fucking pissed. I hated that teacher.
Alright, well,
Hey, let us up. You're not getting up here.
that's all the time.
Up here with me, and I'm sure as shit not coming down there.
Well, thank you for letting us know that that's happening, kid. But that's all the time that we have for today's episode. Catch us next time on Let's Go Gaming when we continue playing South Park Stick of Truth. Except that probably won't be true because I stagger episodes, so I'm gonna guess that we'll probably be playing Little Big Planet tomorrow. I'm gonna call it out there. But subscribe if you want to subscribe. Ring the bell for notifications for new uploads. Because, you know, it's not like we have a set schedule or anything, but you can do that anyway if you need to be reminded. If you're like someone like me who needs a timer to know how much time is passing.
I don't like that that lamp has the same color as the wall.
Yeah.
It's clear.
Is it?
No, it has, all the lamps are blue with brownish orange.
And check out Maddie's channel. Give Devon a shout out in the comments. And stay adventurous until next time. We'll
My
see you then.
channel being possum.
Alright, bye.
Bye.